Hey guys, hi and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to paint this beautiful sunset seascape, and I will be today using a very small size paper which is of a Polaroid size, which is roughly approximately 12 into 15 centimeter, or you could use any smaller paper of your choice. Now I begin by first taping down my paper onto a flat surface. Here I am using a flat surface or a board. You could use any flat surface. Since it's a Polaroid series, so instead of fixing or taping down the paper with the masking tape at the bottom, I leave 5 centimeter from the bottom and fix the masking tape. And let's look at the brushes. So these are the watercolor brushes which I commonly use. All these materials will be listed down in the description box below, so do check it out. Now let's get started. I'm starting by drawing an horizon line which separates the sky and the sea area. For the sky area, I begin by applying a fresh coat of water onto a paper, because we will be going wet on wet technique, meaning that before applying the paint, we are applying a fresh coat of water in order to make the paper wet. I am here preparing my color, so I have listed out all the colors that I will be using for this project in the description box below as well as here, so you could have an easy reference on what colors I am going to be using for the sky as well as for the entire painting. Since we are painting a sky and water, so mostly the colors from the sky are going to get reflected in the water, so we will be going ahead and using the same colors. Now as you can see, I'm just gently applying the colors on my paper, and since my paper is wet, so the colors are able to easily mix with one another and disperse easily into one another. So this is the beauty of wet on wet technique. You get such beautiful blends when your paper is wet. The colors mixes and blends together and gives you this beautiful contrasting sky. So now I'm going ahead and applying some orange, or you could either use orange. Here I'm using yellow tea from White Nights. This entire color palette is from White Nights. It's time now to create some clouds. A sky without clouds just looks so bare to me. So I am going ahead and adding some dramatic effect to the sky by adding some dark clouds. So here I am using a darkest shade of violet, or you could use a tinge of black or Payne's gray, whichever is available with you with your violet, to create this darkest shade. And observe the brush movements of my brush. I am not exactly creating too much pressure on the paper. I'm just slowly gliding my brush across the paper, because the colors need to blend in and you do not want to lift off the colors, the background colors of the paper. So you need to do this gently. Now I'm trying to create some highlights in the cloud by adding that dash of orange. So on that we will be again creating a depth and adding more darker colors above, so that it gives that brightest looking spot in the clouds. So keep watching. Since we are painting this on a smaller surface, so I do not want to add too many clouds, because that will make it look more cluttered and it will not give that effect. So I'll stop here. Now I'm gently dabbing my brush. Now this is a very important critical step. I am now going to create the sun. Make sure that you do this step when your background is still wet. So with the help of your clean brush, you go ahead and lift off some of the colors from the background in a circular motion to create the shape of the sun. If you feel it is very difficult for you to do this step, use a white gouache or white watercolor when your sky has totally dried out, or else if you want you could try out this step. I am just lifting out the colors and making these ray shapes from originating from the sun's circle. So every time that I lift the colors, I'm rubbing my brush onto a tissue paper or a towel. So every time you do this step, make sure that you clean your brush, otherwise you'll get this patch of colors, so you need to remove it every time. Okay, now let's get started with the sea. So here also I'll be going on with wet on wet technique. For the sea, if you want, you can go with wet on dry technique also. There is no hard and fast rule. I am going here with wet on wet technique because I'll be creating the same exact colors of the sky. So I need the colors to blend to with each other. So I'm going with the wet on wet technique. I am almost done with the water part. Now moving on to the waves, I'll be creating short ripples in the water section using my silver black velvet size number 4 brush. You could use any detailing brush or a liner brush which is a pointed tip to fetch you the best results. Here the trick is just you need to keep going and create the small random patterns in the water to indicate the wave like motion or the ripples in the water. But make sure that you do this step when your background is still wet, because you need the ripples to have a softer look and not have that very defined edges. I want to have this a softer look, so I'm doing this step when my background is still wet. Now it's the last part of the painting. I'll be going ahead and creating tree like silhouette, tree branch passing over the sky. So that's the last step. So use any fine pointed tip of your brush and create this tree silhouette. I am not adding any birds onto the sky, so if you want you could go ahead and add some birds too. Once your painting is dried, peel out your masking tape. Now after you peel out your masking tape, you'll get this beautiful Polaroid looking painting. So add in your favorite coat or any coat of your choice. Here I have added mine. You must be aware of the YouTube challenge that I am conducting, so use this hashtag and post it on your Instagram stories and stand a chance to win some amazing goodies. And if you have loved this painting, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel.